Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another edition of Real Talk here on Shelbyville. Now, I'm David Thomas. This is Bo Gill. We're going to make this announcement and get this out of the way right out of the gate. Before we get started, I want to be transparent with everybody. Bo is currently a declared candidate for Bedford County Commissioner running in District 5. Real Talk remains an editorial program under full control of Shelbyville Now. This platform is not affiliated with any campaign. We will offer equal access to all qualified candidates in this race. Our goal is to provide open discussion of issues facing Bedford County while maintaining fairness and transparency. Bo, we got a plate full to talk about today.
We sure do. The plate is full.
But I don't know what we're going to get to. We'll start out with some breaking news that's been coming out all afternoon, off and on all day about the Iranian war, which is, I don't know.
We don't know what to believe, but there's a lot coming out. There's a lot of, we'll talk about it. That's something that we got to,
And I got something going on with my phone here.
Well, you got to take care of business, even when the show's going live. That's how we do things around here. We go live and we take care of business. So you just do what you need to do, Dave, and I'll just entertain these fine folks while they're coming in.
I don't know what's going on here.
Listen here, it's Thursday. What's today's date today? The 28th. Are we already to the 28th of May? Almost half a year through with this.
Yep. It's unbelievable.
It is.
The time
it is really.
I just put the Christmas tree up, man.
I know, me too. Mine's almost up, but we'll get there.
All right. Sorry for getting distracted there, but somebody was trying to reach me on my phone and I couldn't get it to turn off, and I'll have to call those people back.
Yeah,
all right. Before we get started today, we want to thank our sponsors, 580 Graphics.
Yes.
And Dennis Young Insurance.
Two of the best, the finest, the most local businesses here in Shelbyville, Bedford County, and we encourage you to check them out. We got some commercials, I believe.
Yeah. Let's hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Looking to make your brand stand out? At 580 Graphics in Shelbyville, we turn your ideas into bold, professional results. From custom logo design to screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, decals, banners, and signage, we handle it all in-house with precision and fast turnaround. Whether you're a small business, a church group, a sports team, or a growing company, our experienced design team works with you every step of the way to bring a vision to life. We don't just print graphics. We help you get noticed. Exceptional service, eye-catching design, results that speak for themselves. Visit 580 Graphics today and let your brand make a statement.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk. Bo, the big topic that everybody has a local interest in and a lot of discussion, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of confusion is the senior property tax freeze, which is sponsored by Eric Maddox on the county side and Josh Blevins on the city side. They brought this up. They've teamed up. They want to do it together. Sounds like a great plan, but there's been so much misinformation put out and a lot of interference. I'm going to call it static. Okay. There's a lot of static. You ever tune the radio in and you get your message tuned right in and then the static comes in and wipes. You can't tell what's going on.
Terrible experience.
It's aggravating. Back in the old FM days, I remember I tried to get, there was a Huntsville radio station at 105. And then of course you had 105 in Nashville. Right. And the two competed.
The wind blew.
If you drove down toward Lewisburg, the 105 out of Huntsville would put out the 105 in Nashville, and it was just a mass confusion.
Well, that's kind of what we're seeing here at a county financial level, I guess you would say.
Honestly, it's not even a financial level. I think the basic idea was, and this is what the commissioners did, we want a financial statement from Mr. Robert Daniel. He gave that statement. And it turned into some debate, of course, like it always does when people want to fight against something that's good. Yeah. And there was some questions brought up of why don't we go on and go up to the second level on the tax freeze. Now, I want to try to clear this up because I think the water was tried. Somebody tried to muddy the water to talk about the tax aid, the tax relief payments that
Mhm.
people can qualify for if you're
Mhm.
over 65 versus the tax freeze.
Mhm.
The tax freeze is not you getting a check.
No.
The tax freeze is your taxes freeze at the current level.
It frees whatever. If it goes up, you're still
Right.
paying that level. If it goes down, it goes down with it. But
It-
I believe that's how
yeah,
I understand
right.
it.
It can go down, but it can't go past the point it is.
Here's
right
the
now.
thing that really bothers me is the 10-year deal. You know, they throw this extravagant number out when there's no way to really study what things are going to cost in 10 years. So the number that they throw out is in the millions, and it looks like it's just too much of a.
It's kind of like
It's
this,
a
too.
muddy the water situation.
Yeah, that's what happens in Washington, D.C. When they say it's going to cost us, that means it's money we can't tax you on. It's not going to cost you anything. If you learn how to write, they're going to balance a checkbook and manage properly,
Right.
you're not losing anything.
And remember, this is the opinion of the financial director and department that we have here. I mean, financial, any decision can be given or taken. We've seen the comparable studies of other counties and cities that are doing this. We see that some are bigger, that may need more, but I just feel like it's getting a little bit muddied and a little expanded, and they're throwing a lot in there.
I think, Bo, what we're about to see happen technology-wise in the world with the implementation of AI, you're going to have so many people bringing AI to the table at every aspect of life. It's going to be coming into government. As a matter of fact, AI was mentioned in this meeting. Yeah. They used AI to run this out. Well, guess what? AI is going to replace a whole lot of positions.
And guess what else? AI isn't always right. Because somebody's got to input that information.
Right.
To get there.
My point is AI is going to come to the table
to
where it's going to be replacing a lot of jobs, and it's going to be decreasing the size of government.
It already could if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It could. It could decrease the size of our government. Our government should be shrinking with the onslaught of AI instead of growing.
Yes.
And you know what that means? Lower taxes. The people we need to be paying are the ones putting out the fires, arresting the criminals, and paving the roads.
Yes.
And teaching the schools. But that comes from the state, not the county.
That's
the county just throws a crumb.
The schools, yes, that's right. But you're right, 100% on the thing.
The rest of it can be done on a computer with one guy.
It's very objectable. This is an objective number. It's really not certain. And I think it's painted politically. Let's just get down to the brass tacks of it. I hope they're coming to the vote. The vote's supposed to be coming on the 9th at the Bedford
I heard that everybody's not going to be there, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is a planning commission meeting planned at the same time. How convenient.
Huh, how convenient.
All right, that's all why would you have a planning commission meeting right in the middle of a commission meeting?
It seems like to maybe dodge an issue you might be having to vote on that night. And I hope and pray that the public sees this, that the commission sees this, and hopefully, that they understand this is a mass error in communication and oversight.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not an error.
I will be nice about it, and I will say it's an error. Oversight.
Well, here's the thing.
I think that they need to correct it because they've got time to correct it.
Yes.
They can. This is a special call planning commission meeting. I think they could put it off.
You can special call it to Thursday night.
And there's no way you should interfere with the big meeting. This is the county meeting. No way.
The planning commission should be at the commission meeting.
Exactly. I'm sure there are items on the agenda, and I'm sure that they can say there's nothing on the agenda. Just go ahead and
nothing on the agenda.
Well, if people aren't plugged in that are maybe making those calls, maybe
they know it. Bo, I'm just gonna call it out. The planning commission, every member of it right now should say, wait a minute, we can't meet that night. I don't know who called it, but whoever called it should be corrected, and it should be corrected today. And right now, everybody should get on the phone and call their regular commissioners and say, get the planning commission off the night of the commission meeting.
Get it off. And I know the planning commission deals with important topics. Not that this is not an important meeting, but you got to put precedence first. The main meeting goes first, and you in no way, shape, or form should ever try to manipulate the system in this type of way if that's what's happening, because it clearly does not look good. It does not look good at all.
All right, so Scott Vickery, the planning commission meeting was canceled because a new law went into effect requiring a 2-week notice. The commission was not able to meet that time frame, so it was rescheduled.
Yes.
Why it was planned for the same time as the county commission meeting, I have no insight. I'll tell you why. I'm going to put 2 and 2 together because there's a senior tax freeze.
Yes, there's
vote taking place, and one person or 2 or how many ever there will not have to go on the record and vote.
And that's exactly what it looks like. And you know what? This is a special call meeting. So I say you move whatever this issue is to the regular planning commission meeting that'll be coming up on the 4th. I believe it's the 4th Tuesday of every month. It's a special call. I'm sure everybody wants to be in a hurry, but I'm on the city planning commission, and I know sometimes you just got to wait. They need to push it forward, and they need to deal with business at hand when it's business time. That's business time. Look, when you're a county commissioner, that's business time. That's not the only time you work, but that's when you go represent officially.
Well, that's
on the record.
That's
your
one
people.
of those 12 meetings a year that you have where you're deciding for and voting on behalf of your constituents.
Yes, that's right. That's right. No matter what they think, if it's not a lousy agenda or if there's nothing on it, there's always something, and there's always a potential of some grievance from a public. You just never know.
Well, we know what's going to happen that night. That's the senior tax freeze vote.
That's what we know.
That's the most important vote that we've got coming up outside of the budget vote.
And
it's coming.
And I don't know how many commissioners are on the planning commission. I think maybe a couple. Two. I mean, I can't believe they wouldn't raise their hand and say, no, that's our meeting tonight. I wonder why they didn't. But
maybe
they should,
did.
And they
maybe
need to
they
correct
did. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they're going to skip it and come to the budget. But I got money.
Look,
I got money. I'll stack up right
got some
here.
cash. Make cash great again. Don't give me no plastic. Right. I don't want no
All
card.
right, Troy Finley comes in here. He says, What's the thoughts about the media center talks? Okay, Troy, what's your thoughts about the media center talks?
Media center.
Yeah, media center.
What are we doing with the media center?
I have no idea.
Are we going to have a Shelbyville TV station? Is this what we're talking about?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Look, I tell you, anything that has to do with government media is a sham. I mean, I will go on and say that NPR.
Well, I don't think. I think he's talking about something else. We'll find out what he's.
Maybe he's talking about data centers, and yeah, that's something that we're going to address.
The thoughts about data centers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about the 911 building. Is that it? I don't know what media center, Troy, are you talking about? We'll jump on that. Okay.
Yes, we will.
But let's get back to this. Anyway, the confusion that's been brought out to the general public makes everybody think, well, it's not going to help anybody. It's going to help the most vulnerable people, age 65. Those people right now that are maybe skipping a meal to pay for their drugs that they have to be on, or they're doing things right now, just making it work somehow.
And they say the opposition said, well, there's not many. Well, just give me one,
right?
And that's worth it.
If it's not many, then the workload won't be big.
Look,
it's going to be a small workload if it's not many. You can't have it both ways.
Exactly. All right. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yes, data centers. What he's talking about.
Okay. Well, now those are going to be. I do have something to say about that. That's something that the county and city will be pretty soon, eventually, talking and getting more information on. There are about 25 that are either planned or exist outside the Nashville area. There are some jurisdictions that have implemented a moratorium from 2 years to a year on these developments until they can get something on their books about it.
Okay.
And I think that what we want to do is just gain more information. I mean, look, these things are a strain on our infrastructure, on our water. It takes a lot of water to cool it, and that water is driven back into the river, but it is also has chemicals in it that you have to deal with. And then you've got, you have to have
what chemicals?
I'm not sure. There's some type of byproduct that I was reading about. I've been studying this that they could potentially go in there when they're running.
So it's going to have to be filtered.
It's going to be filtered. They have to have two separate ways to have power, and they pull a lot of power.
Oh yeah, they drain us.
They drain, and then your biggest part on employment comes at construction when these things are being built. After construction, I mean, if it's a huge, you might get 20 people. I doubt that, and that's on shifts. Probably more like 10 people.
Here's a stat that I found out that 75% of all new construction in the United States right now are data centers.
Yes.
The United States is going to turn into one huge computer.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And
we're going to be kind of living in the cracks.
And that's the question we need to talk about publicly and answer. Is that what we want? I mean, I believe that, it doesn't bring enough, I guess, labor force. I'd like to have something with the labor force.
But here's the thing, Bo. What we just talked about a minute ago about the implementation of AI, that's what this is doing.
That is a product of this, for sure.
AI is eliminating jobs. Those centers are not to create jobs. They're to eliminate jobs.
That there are job eliminators and they're farm eliminators.
Right.
They eliminate whatever they're on there. they're good. I use my cell phone. I know I benefit off of them. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. But in our area where we're at, we need to protect ourselves from these. I don't want to see farmland full of, we've already done a good job on preventing more solar farms here, but I think it's time not to just prevent, but we need to really get it on the books and make it hard for these that if they do want to come in, then they really got to
But Bo, we're not for growth if we're against that.
Well, we're for growth. I want a healthy growth. I want people to go to work. I want a place where there can be hundreds of people to go to work, not just going to build the building and then, maintain it with 10 people. I mean, that's what we got with Duxon, the acid factory's here. Yeah. I think we don't need any more self-contained, but maybe that's where everything's going.
That's where everything's headed, but we're not going to be producing anything in the United States.
There you go. We got to start production again. We're distributing.
We can't.
Distributing.
All we're doing is distributing, and we're a service country. We service each other
until that changes.
We sell stuff that we get from somewhere else, and we can't change it. We are so far tilted one way because everybody's got to be millionaires. I mean, not millionaires, but you got to make $200,000 or $300,000 a year now just to make it,
just to drive down the road.
All right, and you can't have people producing stuff in the United States making $50 an hour when China's doing it for $5 an hour, and they're rich at that. Okay,
that's right.
Have you looked at the lineup of Chinese cars that are available in China?
No,
I know why they're not here in the United States, because there wouldn't be a car made in the United States. They are the leading exporter of vehicles in the world now, Bo.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
they are. That's just by 2 to 1.
And they've stolen some.
No, we don't get a single one of them. They're flooding Europe with them. And you know what's not in Europe? American cars.
They're just kind of.
They've taken over. They've got a little car that's about like a Nissan Sentra. They sell them for what's equal to $3,500.
Well, they don't have big SUVs and things around there.
They got them,
but they don't.
But they're 20,000.
Yeah,
all right, instead of 100.
We're a little bit on the flip flop,
but
and we like to pay high gas.
All right, so here's Scott Vickery saw a post today that TVA is considering adjusting rates due to the number of data centers being built. All these people are just saying yes. Oh yes, we need to build.
No, that has got to stop. They got to start thinking for themselves. They got to start thinking for the residents. I mean, they really mean something.
Nobody has watched iRobot, have they? Have they forgot about the movie
with Will Smith?
Yeah. What about Tron? You ever thought about it? We're going to be inside of a computer before it's
we're going to be a big dome. We're just going to be a bunch of data. We're going to be plugged into data. Forget the data. Forget the data centers. Go farm. Let's go build something. I want to be producers again. I would like to get back there. I think we can. You say we can.
We can't compete.
Not anytime soon.
We can't compete. That's the problem. We can't even raise cows now and compete.
Yeah. But a lot. This is back to these data centers. They are coming around here, and I know that there have been a few already show interest here in Shelbyville. But they don't. I think the thing that's helping us out a lot is the power. It's hard for them to get 2 sources of power when it all comes from TVA really at the same time. But there are generators that they have. There's noise that it produces. There's a lot of, it's a strain on our infrastructure. And right now, if we got one of those, can you imagine the strain? We're already strained to death. I mean, it wouldn't have to be policed as much, I guess, because there's not many people there. But look, I just think that this is something that maybe if it's allowable and there's a
so what would you propose? You're on the city planning commission. The county's got to come up with a statement on this too. If you were to put let's say a policy in place, what would that policy be?
It would be a very high standard policy. It would be very, it would almost be, when you looked at it, it's like,
here's what I would
make
do.
That happen.
If you can't be self-contained,
then
you can't build it.
I would say it has to be in an industrial zone in the county, and there's no industry in the county, so it just won't happen.
And also you produce your own electricity and you deal with your own water.
Yeah. I mean, that would have to be it. I would say that there have to be.
You can't drain it out of the Duck River.
No, you can't use there would have to be.
Haul it in here.
That's why. But that's why that this. I'm glad whoever brought that up.
Scott.
I'm glad they did. That's why this needs to be talked about. There's nothing on the books right now. They're currently being
Troy Finley did.
They're currently being approved as storage uses. We've heard of this in the Right to Farm Act. We've heard of these legal loopholes. Well, this is where it's time to address it because they're coming. Like I said, there's 25 planned or existing already in the Nashville area. And I know Lebanon, I think, has got a few. Coffee County, I've heard, has recently put a moratorium on development. I don't know how long it's been on development,
on that type of stuff.
on that type of development. And I think that's a good, and it's so that we can get our ducks in a row. I think it's something we should have done with residential development.
But Bo, here's the thing about it: we can't get our ducks in a row for this because it will suck the life out of every place that they go drink. You look at what Kevin O'Leary is doing, and y'all need to look this up. Kevin O'Leary from the Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, is what he's referred to, is right now in on the investment. I think he's one of the principal investors of a 672 square mile data center, processing center in Utah. And basically, that's the size of Manhattan Island. That's how big the structure. It's going to be like buildings just lined up for miles.
Yes, and that's what's happening. And even in Virginia, talking to Thomas Batchelor, the planning director there, he lived there one time, and he says around there, like where government and the CIA, and he said that's like there's tons of them out there.
So and what are they doing? What data is in these things?
My picture, your picture,
exactly.
All my text, all
everything we got.
Yeah, my DOS.
We are going to be monitored to the point that it's unbelievable. It already is. If you really knew what they were storing of your data right now, you would never pick up another phone. You would just go hide in a hole somewhere.
And I talked to our friend Paul Engel, and he did work in these professionally in New York for several years. And I really got a lot of insight from him on how they run, about the water cool, what happens, how loud are they, and what's in there, he says just racks of just, and they've gotten smaller over the years. So that begs the question that maybe we'll need many.
If you're selling chips, if you're selling hardware for these massive computer centers, you're going to get rich.
You're going to get rich.
That's it. Yeah. What else?
I need to start making chips in not Doritos, chips in the garage, but I can't do it. I don't have the manufacturer.
All right. So what do y'all think about data centers? Is it a hard no for Bedford County? Do we just say no way, Jose? Or are some of these people that have the land that want to sell to them have enough clout with our local government to get it done anyway, no matter what anybody else wants?
No, that thinking's got to go.
Well, hey, you mark my word, somebody right now sitting on a piece of property and they're talking to somebody right now about a data center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me. You're probably right. But here's the way this needs to go. The public, if we're going to meet, if we're going to study about it, then the public needs to, sorry for my alarm going off there. That means we got to get off there. No. But if the public needs to be involved in it, regardless.
Right.
Whenever we have this study, I would like the public to be able to attend it. They may not be able to ask questions, or maybe they can. I think that they should be able to ask questions, but I would like for everyone to get more informative on that. And we need to make a decision.
Here's the thing. The decision should be no. Now, that's what Cindy West says. First of all, if you really don't know what it's doing outside of this cookie cutter approach to the explanation, it's a data center. We're processing data.
It is.
I want to know whose data. And we know the answer to that already.
Yes.
And why?
That's right. And
what data?
So what we have to do at this point is we have to define what these data centers are. We don't have anything on the book. We need to define. We need to, say what their use, and then we need to list out really, I guess it was hard hoops to jump through so that they wouldn't come here. Right now it's already harder for the rural, but this is where they're targeting. Cheaper land, and they got the land,
and so that's why we have to guard. They got farmers that want to sell bulk land.
They do, and they're paying high for that land.
Yes,
and I'm with you. No on these though. I mean, but it's not where we're at this point. There's no official anybody coming. Nobody's came in with an application yet. Is what I'm saying. But there have been some people talking. Well, I know it's here. I know it's here. I know it's here. And
it's some people that have. They're getting the political lineup already set. And if you say no to it, Bo, you're against growth. And this ain't growth. This is destruction, in my opinion.
Well, it's what the people want. It doesn't matter. I mean, if the people are screaming for more data centers, and this is an urban area, then maybe we need more. But I believe the temperature is not that right here.
It would be hard to put them here because of the summer temps in the south. They are being put in more high elevation areas. Is a lot of the reason Trump had made the push for Greenland, that type well, let's see. That is.
And I hear of new
went away.
technology is the way to cool them, but you're exactly right. I mean, they would be
Okay, this
tough.
is Jonathan Wade Stewart. That type of environment is a perfect environment for them. Yeah, it melt the ice up there too. Nothing needs to be defined. It's a no, period. Thank you very much, Scott Vickery. Infrastructure.
Well, right now they get it in. If we don't have it defined, they get it in under storage. So you've got to do something
storage
to eliminate
has got
it.
to be like that's BS. And
Yeah.
I've heard about a storage warehouse, Bo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
And it's a hard
well,
no.
they're making exactly.
What are you going to store?
And they're making
you better
the,
be answering that
they're
question.
making the argument they're storing computer parts. Well, no, don't give me that. I mean, yeah, you're storing it, but this is a thriving deal that's takes so much of our energy. I mean, the gallons of water, and yeah, it's a self-contained, but then it's got to pull more. It's always refreshing. Don't buy into it. I just think that it's something that because they say that this isn't a good area, and they may be right, but they're always coming up with new technologies to make these things be cooler and be less where they have to use all these energies. But yeah, right now, no, it's a hard no.
I love Bedford County. Okay. I love Bedford County.
Me too.
And there's this next part, but, comma. Okay. That but, comma scares me.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing I see happening. I see as people get older, and when you're getting toward retirement age, you start thinking about this stuff. Am I going to be able to even afford Bedford County, even though it has been the cheapest place to live in the country for a long period of time, or in one of the cheapest places in the country, in the entire country? And people have run in now from other areas because they see that,
mm-hmm.
and it's a good place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's flipped. Okay, it's turned over
mm-hmm.
to the point now is we're deteriorating at a rate that scares me to where I have that but, comma.
Mm-hmm.
There could be somebody somewhere else. Now, my family lives here,
mm-hmm.
but could they all just leave one day and find somewhere else? And I'm just wondering where that somewhere else is. But you start to look at the property tax, the readjustment in the rates in our values,
mm-hmm.
okay, is a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting on a fairy tale bubble of what this property is worth. Okay. Is it going to pop or is it not? I don't know. But if it doesn't pop and recede back down, you're going to be taxing people out of their property and homes.
You've got it. Yes.
Okay.
There has to be some way to.
Then you suck the river dry to where we're going to be on rolling blackouts and your water going to be turned on and off, and they will choose when we can use it. Okay.
No.
Do I need to look down the road of another place to live and leave Bedford County? And everybody says, well, you're just an old fogey. Let me tell you something. There's going to be a reality hit eventually, and nobody sees it coming except for a few people that are paying attention.
Well, they are, and that's why you got to stand up. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm running for office. I mean, I want to protect the Bedford County and make it what it is. I don't want to eliminate freedom of Americans and freedom of thought, but I want to keep Bedford County.
I've always been
rural nature.
I've always been this person that says, this is my property. It's your property. You have the right to do whatever you want to do with it. I've always been that way because I'm a libertarian at heart.
Right.
Okay. I believe that the government has no business in trotting in on what I do with my property.
Okay.
And I stand on that.
Yes.
There is a line, though, that when you cross over and you start to affect everybody except what's in your little square,
mm-hmm.
okay, when you start spilling over, that's when you lose some of those rights that you have to do whatever you want to. When I start contaminating people around me,
mm-hmm.
it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's where my libertarian thing ends, all right? I don't think you should throw sewer over on somebody. I don't think you should be blasting rocks and cracking foundations, doing it on your property. You're causing seismic activity. Right. I don't think you should be able to contaminate that land and sell out that land to something that's going to contaminate that land. Now, but still, within your own box, if you want to raise cows in it, great. Just make sure you got a good fence.
That's right.
Okay.
And a lot of these families have kept these farms for years, and now a different generation turnover, they're not connected to them. They're selling them, and a lot of these are going, and they're getting a lot of money. And then a lot of these people are sitting on farms, and they're broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and they're like, well,
they're trying to hold on. Yeah,
they're trying to hold on just because they love their farm, and then they finally just to live, they have to sell it.
But what happens, both when there's so many people that have lived their whole life here, or they've lived here a long time, and they look up and say, I can't afford this anymore. Well, how much deeper in the woods we got to go? I don't know.
I don't know if there's any more woods left.
Well,
and that's why we want to protect woods. I love the woods.
I'm looking at
more woods.
I'm looking at the Panhandle of Florida. I visited.
Well, the sand does sound very nice. I think
honestly, some of the areas in the Panhandle of Florida, the cost of living is cheaper there than it is here.
That's amazing. See, that's flip flop too. I think that wasn't always the case.
Now, I'm not saying right up on the beach, but I'm talking about areas.
Oh, like inland, just a little bit, like
inland,
Tampa Bay.
20 miles. No, not Tampa Bay. God, that's one of the highest places in the world to live.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the Panhandle.
All right,
the Panhandle, like from Pensacola to Mobile, Alabama, down to Interstate 10. There's a lot of little towns sprinkled down through there, and they're remote. You look at that. Their cost of living. You can buy a beach house 2 blocks over from the ocean, from the Gulf of Mexico, 2 blocks over, and their average per square foot is lower than Bedford County's now.
Well, can you find me one too? Because I'd like to get.
Absolutely, just pull it up. They're loaded for sale.
If you get a deal on 2,
now of course the wind blows down there sometimes, and you don't want to mess with it.
I've heard about that wind.
Yeah,
you got to get boards up and kind of go north a little
20 miles inland, 25 miles inland. Between Interstate 10 and the coast, or just north of Interstate 10, there's several little towns down through there. And even in southern Alabama, there's a lot of areas to live that's cheaper. And I'm sure everybody's flooding to these places. That'll change soon. But
they're flooding here too. They're flooding everywhere.
I don't want to ever have the thought that I would want to leave Bedford County.
No, me neither.
There's that comma that's there. Because when you start talking about data centers, you talk about just developing to where you ain't got no water left and you ain't got no electricity, and you're going to face these blackouts. Maybe the entire country's facing it. I don't know, but I got to think there's still going to be some areas that you can go to. I don't know.
I don't want to get caught up in the whole controlled utilities deal.
But that's where we're headed. If somebody don't put their foot down, Bo.
It's time for the foot to be put down. No's okay. No is okay. It's okay.
The word no is a very good word at this point.
Respectfully. I mean, you might not like it.
No, we can't do it. We can't handle it here.
But I still like you.
But here's the thing, Bo. If Tullahoma, if our surrounding counties sell out to these things, it's going to affect us.
Yes, it is.
Duck River Electric is a wide range of counties. If Columbia and Lewisburg and Coffee County and Franklin County, some of these places sell out to these places,
I mean,
we're going to be affected.
Murfreesboro's tipping over all the time on us. I mean, it's spilling all over us.
Yeah.
It's just we're at the tipping point.
Guys, I think
that's a good discussion, and I'm glad that we talked about the data centers. I mean, it just makes us really think of what we got here in Bedford County, what we want to preserve here, and it makes us ask the question, do we want this?
We were so easy to sell out to an acid factory. I'm pretty sure we'll sell out to a data center.
No, I think we've learned
unless
our
we
lesson.
get some new people in office, Bo.
I believe you're right.
If we do not get some more people in that's willing to say no in the office and protect what we have here, we're doomed. Because you look at what took place. And this fiasco we've got out here north of town, it's a fiasco.
Yes, it is. And the lesson has been learned, and the power, they've changed some things already.
But these are smart people making decisions for us, Bo.
Oh, they're so smart. I just feel like a peon compared to these.
I know.
No, you know what? The people are really the smartest. And we're all laughing
they're not
at them.
being listened to at the moment. There's only a handful of people that are listening to their constituents and doing something about it.
Right.
And there is an election, Bo, coming up.
There is an election coming up in August, so stay tuned.
But anyway, we're going to close on this. First of all, today there was some more stock market manipulation with a Axios report coming out probably about 10 o'clock this morning, saying that there was a deal done with Iran. It leaked out a little bit, and by 1 o'clock, it was starting to circulate, and the stock market just exploded because they said, pending Trump's approval. And in the meantime, they're shooting missiles again over there. Okay, so we got a high-ranking U.S. official that is leaking information to Axios. Axios reporter, that's covering this beat. He's coming out with this stuff, and he's quoting unnamed sources that are high-ranking U.S. officials. Okay, I've got a suspect of who I think it is, and these people are manipulating the stock market, and they're getting rich.
Plain and simple market manipulation. They are playing with people's lives. They're playing with money. They're playing with the world, really, in these type of deals.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're actually, doing it. They're releasing these false statements. They don't have any they don't know. They're just saying it, and it's coming from a
Well,
source, so somebody reports it.
Well, I think some of it's partially true. Let's look.
Well,
at the
that's
latest.
like most things.
Okay. Let me look at the latest. IRGC launches missiles towards specific targets. Iran denies Axios report.
So
okay, that's which Iran?
Who Iran?
The guys with the guns or the guy in the suit?
Exactly.
They don't know what's going on.
I have no confidence in any release going on, and I'm surprised that the market is reacting like this. But I guess if you've got an insider,
here's the thing.
They think they're sold on the insider.
Here's the thing. You start getting the algorithms kicking into gear when you start putting out, because all these AI trading bots are watching the news.
That's right.
They see a positive news. They automatically kick it into gear, and the crowd follows.
So is that,
and they drive the market up. And then when they start hearing about missiles being fired, I promise you right now, if you go look, okay, the market's closed for 18 more minutes on your futures. In 18 minutes, you will go, and I guarantee you crude will spike. And right now, people are positioned for it.
So look, I'm not as efficient I'm not up on the market like you are. But like I said earlier, when we were off the air, the market, if you pay attention to it, it paints a picture of what's really going on or what's really not going on. I mean, these are being manipulated off of news reports that are obviously,
on options alone, Bo. A 200-point NASDAQ move could make somebody billions of dollars if they're positioned in these particular stock options, or just individual stocks or futures. The futures contracts you can buy a future contract on NASDAQ. You have micros, you have minis, you have full contracts. You can go in, and today I watched silver take a move on this explosion. And if I bought one contract before this was announced and afterwards, one contract would have netted me probably $50,000.
So if you know that inside connection and they're giving you,
and you buy a million of those contracts
before it goes out public,
yeah, I mean, you're looking at $5 billion.
Well, if you find out, let me know.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you see this stuff come out, but the people are already positioned.
I know. No,
and the chase is on.
Yeah.
And then they dump on everybody, and then it comes out later.
And now now it's gone. Now
the market is correcting itself, and crude will be going up. It's the inverse. If crude is up, the market's down right now with the war, and they're playing a seesaw back and forth every day. And I'd like to know who is profiting from it.
Yes, I would too. And it's amazing how you can interpret what's going on by the market.
Yes,
and I'm glad you're plugged in, because I'm not as much, and I need to be more plugged in.
Let's see, what is the name of this? Well, it just slips my Trading View. You can get a free account on Trading View, and you can follow the futures. And when you see a spike in volume and not a big move up yet, something's coming. It's either they're fixing to short it and pound it in the ground and then cover after they've made a fortune, or they're going to run it up. And it's happening every single day, Bo. Every day during this war, somebody is making a killing.
It just talk about, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
There we go. It's all about the money.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Who cares about the blood that's being spilled?
And people need to pay attention to what's going on. I guarantee you, some of these people that are making this kind of money are tied to the Epstein situation. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah,
all right. But anyway, the latest news is we're shooting missiles. No, I don't know who's shooting missiles. Somebody
got a missile. It's probably Israel.
Scott Bessent just slapped new sanctions on Iran. Okay. Iran state TV claims U.S. aircraft was destroyed. So we're going back into war right after we supposedly just had a deal.
Yeah, I thought Trump's about to sign.
Crude oil, in 14 minutes, it's going to be spiking. I promise you. You go watch it right now.
So should we buy right now?
It's too late. You should have bought before the market closed and before this came out, like somebody else did. All right. That's what's going on.
I don't blame you.
You watch it.
Good.
The market tells you the truth.
Yeah,
right?
It does. And
all
that's interesting.
So we're going to get out of here.
Some real talk.
Thanks for everybody watching.
Yes.
Go check crude oil prices. Guarantee you they'll be going up here in just a little bit.
Check crude oil. Check our sponsors out, 580 Graphics and Dennis Young Insurance.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Y'all have a great weekend coming up. We'll see you next week.